Pasha.
Today we are going to look at the object declension of verbs that relate to objects in plural number, two new cases, adjective comparison, and imperative form. And for the start, let's update our vocabulary. Let's consider a human. Human in Mansi language sounds like
Elum holos.
that means human as biological creature. If we want to say about human as a social creature, we should use the word
Hotpa.
for example.
Яны elum holos.
That means a big human. But if you want to say he is a good human, you should say Taujomas hotpa. Now let's consider parts of a human body.
Punk.
Head,
At.
a hair,
Punkat.
hair on the head,
Sam.
eye,
Tur.
throat. Don't confuse with
Tur.
the lake.
Нёв.
Nose,
Паль.
ear,
Wild.
face,
Cat.
hand,
Lau.
leg,
Sans.
knee,
Sis.
back,
Тулёвал.
finger,
Коскер.
nail,
Коноловал.
elbow,
Пуки.
belly,
Сим.
heart,
Хопси.
lung,
Майт.
liver,
Лу.
bone,
Келп.
blood,
Тан.
vein,
Арм.
pain, sickness,
Номт.
thought,
Пус.
full, healthy.
Пуската пусали лолен.
Be healthy. Now let's look at how we can say about an object that belongs to somebody, or, in other words, formulate a possession of an object. We can do it this way. Let's take the nouns call, house, and ai, daughter, in this meaning.
Колум. Аим. Колон. Аин. Коле. Аите. Колмен. Аимен. Колин. Аин. Колен. Аитен. Колу. Аил. Колин. Аин. Колонел. Аиянел.
With two objects.
Коларум. Аиарум. Коларен. Аиаин. Колаге. Аияе. Колармен. Аиармен. Колаин. Аияин. Колаген. Аияен. Колару. Аияру. Колагин. Аияин. Коларано. Аиярано.
With three and more objects.
Коланум. Аиянум. Коланен. Аиянен. Колане. Аияне. Коланмен. Аиямен. Коланин. Аиянин. Коланен. Аиянен. Колану. Аияну. Коланин. Аиянин. Колананел. Аиянанел.
Please note, if you want to mark the possession of word that contains sound schwa, the sound is omitted.
Лару. Ларлум. Ларларум.
Homework. Try to inflect any 5 names of the body parts. And before we proceed to the next part of the lesson, I'm going to show you in general view one confused theme, preverbs. We won't consider them here in detail, but you can see them all. The same thing exists also in Hungarian, and in the English language the analog is phrasal verbs. Preverbs add some additional meaning to the verbs. Now let's take only one preverb, kon, that means to outside. So, there is a verb minunque, it means to go, to leave, and kon minunque, that means to go from inside. And this verb is not interchangeable with the word minunque. So in some cases you should say minunque, and in some cases con minunque. And now let's regard two cases, ablative and translative. Ablative is used to mark the place from where the motion comes. Tau kono kon minas. He went outside from the house. Or the material of which an object was created. Tau tiivno hapware. He makes a boat of this tree. Hap is boat. Translative is marked with g suffix, and it is used to define the endpoint of transformation. For example, boy becomes a man, he transforms to a man. What can be expressed with these two cases? So we arrived at an important theme, the degrees of comparison of adjectives. And one of the means to express the comparison is through ablative. Tauanum no yanag. He is older than me. He is old from me. And here we say about the state of an object. Also we can express it with a suffix nu. Here we say about the quality of an action. Very often the following form is used. He becomes better. Attention! Here the transitive case is used. The superlative degree is forming with the word shar, the most, or again through ablative tau yomas no yomas. He is the best. He is the good from the good. The plural nouns are marked with the suffix t. Ulas, one chair. Ulast, much chair. Let's consider verb totunque, to bring. I bring the chairs.
Am ulasit totianum.
I bring 3 chairs. The noun is singular.
Am hurum ulas. Обратите внимание. Totianum. Итак, поехали. Am ulasit totianum. Na ulasit totianin. Ta ulasit totiania. Men ulasit totian men. Nen ulasit totianin. Или totian. Ten ulasit totianeen. Man ulasit totianu. Nan ulasit totianin. Или totian. Здесь то же самое. Tan ulasit totianil. Или totiananu.
In the previous lesson, I promised to look at the functions of word was. But firstly, let's consider the imperative mood. If you want to tell someone do, then it should be said waren. If address a lot of people, then we will say waren. If you want to say do one house, we should say kol varel. For a lot of people, it should be say varelin. But if we want to prohibit some action, then we have to use the particle ul. Don't do it. Ul waren. The other instances of use of the negative imperative you can see now.
Árpád kolon telen.
Árpád, build a house. Yep, just give me some money, bro.
So let's come back to was. In literature you can find the polite imperative, for example, Árpád kol vasounti. Literally, let Árpád build the house. That means, Árpád, build the house. But this form is not the equivalent of please. In the Mansi language there is no please word. So if you want to say something imperatively, use the standard impolite form. And one more function, conjunction in sentences. So we will just take a look at the complex sentences. For example, I want to say, I want him to sit here. This phrase will look like Am tang here tautit was only. Literally, I want, let him sit here. If we want to say it in the negative form, I want, he wouldn't sit here, we should use the prohibitive particle. Am tang here tautit was only. And eventually, if you want to address someone, for example me, you have to add a suffix in the end. So the phrase will look like this. Árpád nangtit manre onlein. Árpád, why are you sitting here? If the name is ending with the a, it becomes longer. Anna nangtit manre luulein.
Nää on seisseet tässä jo toista viikkoa. Ei syö, ei juo, ei puhu. On suomalaiset kyllä niin jäyhää porukkaa.
Untialan kotaminain.
Meron kuin Vineon.
Uminan. Nanganuna teenut vaarun kinjoten. Mien was teemien.
Joomas.